Hey guys, it's Hayes with CheatSheetPros.com. Today is Friday, June 3rd, wrapping up a nice week of PTO, and I've got some more prize pick plays that I wanted to go over with everybody. Yesterday we did pretty good. We hit our top two plays with Sandy Alcantara over 18.5 pitching outs and Austin Riley over 1.5 total bases. We were kind of mixed on the no-run first inning. We hit a few, missed a few. I think I had bet a total of 6. So I don't know if they were 3-3, 4-2, or 2-4. I had a whole bunch of stuff last night. I missed the NHL win with, I think it was Hyman shots on goal over 3.5. I'm not an NHL guy, but I had posted that in there. That's just one I was going to go ahead and ride with. And then we hit with our NBA prop of Andrew Wiggins over 15.5 points. So overall, not a bad day. So let's go ahead and take a look at some plays that we do like for today. So the very first one that jumped out at me was Garrett Cole strikeouts. So typically when I pull these up, I go through all the pitchers and I look at everything to see kind of what's jumping out at me. So Garrett Cole over 8.5 strikeouts was the first one that jumped out. So let's go ahead and take a look at old Garrett. Where's he at? Garrett Cole. So Garrett Cole, we're going to take a look at his game logs. After struggling on the season, he has been on fire. So over his last 5 games, he has 10, 11, 5, 9, and 10 strikeouts. So for the last 5 games, he's been over. So I like him to go over 8. What's nice about 8 instead of 8.5 is 8 we get a push. So really 7 and less is the only number that we lose on. So we would have lost this 5, we'd have lost this 6. But then we got winner, 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 winner. So the majority of the time we're winning. And he's going up against a Detroit team that has a strikeout rate of 24.1% over the last 2 weeks. I won't pull up the sheet and show you that. Just take my word on it. So Garrett Cole over 8 strikeouts is the first prop that does jump out to me. The second prop that jumps out that I really like, that I was kind of shocked, is Dane Dunning over 4.5 strikeouts. Typically, I wasn't even going to look at him. I was just going to move on down the road. But today, I decided to take the time and said, hey, I'm going to look up every pitcher, every stat, and see what jumps out at me. So I started looking at a strikeout prop of 4.5, and I saw 5, 8, 6, 6, 5, 7, 5. So I was like, oh my God, he's been over 7 games in a row. Well, what kind of opponents has he faced? Well, Houston, Atlanta, Yankees, Boston. Those are tough matchups. The LAA and Oakland I don't really care about, but Boston, Houston, Atlanta, New York, that's pretty solid to get over 4.5. So the next thing I go look at, I say, okay, well, who is he facing today? And let me go ahead and take a look. I've got a screenshot here as opposed to opening up the cheat sheet. So this is the lineup that he's facing, and you can see the top 3 hitters, they have a strikeout rate of only 12, 11, and 14%, so they're pretty tough. But then when you get down in the bottom half of the lineup, Julio Rodriguez has a strikeout rate of 29% this year. And then Suarez, 34%, Mike Ford, 26%, and whoever this guy, Cal Raleigh, is, 36%. So you're telling me he can't get 5 Ks when 4 of these guys have strikeout rates of 26% or higher? He only has to get through the lineup twice, and I think that's going to be an easy feat for him. So Dane Dunning over 4.5 strikeouts is the next one that jumped out at me. So let me go ahead and flip down here and take a look at the next one. And so now those are my top 2 plays that I like. So I did a hammer card with those 2 that pays plus 300 on Price Picks. So these are all kind of tier 2 plays going forward for me. So Logan Gilbert. So which one of these props do you think we're going to go with? The one that jumped out at me was pitching outs over 18.5. So that's basically, if they pull him after 6 innings, you're done because that's 18 outs. So he's got to get to 16.1 innings. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what he has done recently. So Logan Gilbert, where are you, buddy? All right, now looking at his recent games, he has... So he's been kind of up and down this 5 and 6 inning, but what really jumped out at me is these last 3 starts right here. 7, 7, and 7, so that's 21, 21, and 21 pitching out, so putting him well over the 18.5. And he's done pretty good, and look at these opponents. Houston, at Boston, at Toronto. Those are probably 3 of the toughest starts you could have, and he put up 21 pitching outs in all of them and went 7 innings. So I definitely like him to do that. against Texas. So, sorry, I had to look and see who he's playing. So, Texas isn't hardly the caliber of team of those three, so he should easily be able to do that. He did face Texas once back here, which I just noticed, and went 6.2 innings in his third start of the year. So that's 18, 19. That's 20 pitching outs, so he already went over that. And he gave up 6 hits, no earned runs, and had 4 strikeouts. And let me see, no walks. So we like Logan Gilbert over 18.5 pitching outs. That's one that jumped out. The next one is going to be Eovaldi. And let me see, I'm going to look him up on here. So Nathan Eovaldi, his strikeout prop, so he throws hard, but he throws straight. So he's prone to getting blasted occasionally. So his strikeout prop of 5.5 seemed low. So let's look at this. So out of his 10 starts this year, he's been over, under, over. So he's been over in 7 of the 10, so he's got a 7-3 number. Now you can see here, Houston annihilated him. So hard-throwing pitcher that doesn't have much movement. Houston tore him up. He only lasted 1.2 innings, gave up 9 runs, 6 earned runs, basically got annihilated. But against Baltimore, Seattle, even Atlanta, Baltimore, Toronto, and Detroit, and the Yankees, he's been over the 5.5 strikeouts, so he's been over that. And then tonight he goes up against Oakland. And once again, we're going to pull this over. Look at Oakland's lineup. So the number 2 projected hitter has a 30% strikeout rate. The number 4 is 27%. Seth Brown, 26%. Chad Pender, 36%. And then even Kevin Smith, 28%. So 5 guys in that lineup are 26 to 36% strikeout rate guys. So I like him to go over the strikeout prop of 5.5. So the next one is going to be Zach Eflin. So taking a look at old Effie here. His pitching outs over 17.5. I figured it would be 18, so when I saw 17.5, that kind of jumped out at me. So you can see here he's got 18, 21, 18 over the last 3 starts. He was under it, but look who he faced. He was at the Mets, and they're just ridiculous right now. And then against Colorado, he went 18. So 17.5 pitching outs is his prop number. So he only needs to get through 6 innings, and he's done that in 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the last 5 games, he's done that. And then tonight he goes up against... Who is he playing? I missed it. Anyways, it's not an opponent that's going to absolutely annihilate him, so we like him to go over the 17.5 pitching outs. We think he can get through 6 innings. That should not be an issue. One other thing I was going to show you on this. So even in this game, let me see here, against the New York Mets, his last start at New York Mets. So that's a tough matchup. They're playing ridiculous right now. He still went 6 innings, and he gave up 8 hits, 7 earned runs, walked 2, and gave up a home run. So they left him in the game after giving up that many runs. So I definitely think they can keep him in there for 6 innings so they don't have to go to the bullpen, especially after giving up 7 earned runs in his last start. So I like that one. Now the next one we're going to look at is a pitch count prop. And let me see, create a lineup. Let me go over here to lobby. I should have had this pulled up, I apologize. And so this one is going to be a pitch count prop that we're going to take a look at. And James, I'm not even going to pronounce his last name. So his number is 81.5 pitches thrown. So immediately I thought over. But when you go in and you look at this, he only had 64 against Texas, 74 against Seattle. He got to 89 against Minnesota, 75 against Detroit. So in 3 of the last 4 games, he has been under this number. So I like under 81.5 pitches thrown. And he's going up against Boston, who's ridiculous right now. Now, these other teams, Detroit, Seattle, and Texas, they aren't near the caliber of team as Boston. So Boston could get to him early and get him out of the game. And over his last 2 starts, he's given up 9 earned runs in 9.1 innings, and that was against Texas and Seattle. So Boston could knock him out of this game early. 81.5 pitches thrown. I like the under there. And then the next one I'm going to take a look at is Jose... how do you say this? Let's pronounce it. Urquidy. So his pitch count. So let's look at what he's done so far. 93, 98, 99 in the last 3 games, and that was against a tough Boston team, and then a mediocre Texas team, and a not very good Seattle team. So he's going up against Kansas City tonight. The weather should be perfect. I don't think it's going to be hard for him to get that same, 90, 95 pitch count. So his prop number is 92.5. He's been over it in 3 straight games, so I like him to go over that number. I'm not in love with it, but it's one that if you're on the fence, he's 3-0 for the over going up against a weak team. I don't mind writing that one as well. And then we are going to flip over to our no-run first inning prop. So we're going to pull this up. So this is the record of no runs first inning. I love doing these. They are so much fun. We were mixed yesterday, but the one with Sandy Alcantara was my favorite just because he's a dominant pitcher, so you've only got to get 3 outs on the other side to hold this one. So what we're looking at on this sheet, let me blow it up. I can make this a little bit bigger for everybody to see. The zoom, there we go. There we go. Look at that, baby. All right, so we have a couple of these. The overall no-run first inning record is over here. Some of the ones that jumped out I circled. We have Detroit, the Yankees, combined for 8-2, no, 8-2, no, and 9-1. So this is my favorite win down here. Joe Musgrove and Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns has been absolutely elite. He's 4-0. And then over here, Musgrove has been pretty good. Milwaukee has struggled a little bit, so this one is hitting at a 9 out of 10 clips for 90%. And you can see Vegas over here has this at minus 162. So if you can get this for a normal prop bet, I really like that one. That's a lot of fun. And I like these because they're quick hitters. You don't have to wait 5, 6, 7 innings to see if your prop hits. You have 6 outs and you either won it or lost it, and then you can move on. Other ones to consider are the Logan Gilbert, Dane Dunning. They've been decent. They've combined for an 8-2. So I don't mind taking a shot on that one. Another one that I really like here is Garrett Cole, who's been dominant lately. He struggled in the beginning of the year, so he's going to have a rough number here, which we can see 3-2. But as of late, he's been doing really well. And then you've only got to get Elvin Rodriguez through 1 inning, which he's 1-1 so far without New York scoring. But you can see it's almost minus 130 for the no, so I don't mind taking a shot on that one. Another one I like is Shane Bieber. He's always a stud muffin. So right here we have, he's 8-1 for a no-run first inning. And then even Bruce Zimmerman, even though I don't like anyone for Baltimore, he's 4-1, and then his overall combined is 8-2. So we like that to go over. And you can see that's minus 120 for a no. So those are some of the ones that I like. All of these others are kind of hit and miss, 50-50. Got some 8-2s. Max Fried should be pretty good. I looked at him, but in Colorado, that's a whole different ball game. Or no, wait, he's not. Yeah, in Colorado again. Boston should be decent. Again, you can see that one's minus 142 for the no, so that's one I think you can consider. And some of these other ones that I really like doing, but they weren't up when I started doing my research for this video is the, where's it at? The earned runs allowed. So I love these 2.5 earned runs allowed. I didn't get a chance to look through these because they weren't up when I was researching. But these are ones that I'll probably post in the chat or the Facebook group later on, like him under 2.5. That one kind of jumps out. Burns 1.5. That one's interesting. And what's nice is if a pitcher gets pulled early, they didn't give up that many earned runs, so then you're kind of golden to look at that. And then when you have bad pitchers, getting over 2.5 isn't really too bad. Like you can see Cole here is 1.5. So those are fun to look at and kind of see how they've been doing. We had one yesterday that we posted on the screenshot of plays over 2.5, and I mean, he just got smoked. I quit watching it. I mean, he gave up 3 right off the bat, so that was a nice one. But anyways, those are the plays that we like today. I was glad to get another video out for you guys, so good luck. And if you guys have any plays that you love, feel free to post them below. Thanks.